You know, I'm sure people have done videos on this before, but I wanted to truly look at gaming as a whole and build upon this idea of why we collectively love gaming. I know some of you click on this and will think,
yo, gaming's fun.
That's why we play it.
It's not that deep.
Well, I completely disagree with that idea. Some of it may seem obvious, but I really believe that there's a deeper layer than what we take for face value as far as how we perceive gaming and why we love gaming. You know, gaming is always there. It never leaves. People, time, relationships, pain, happiness, sadness, it all comes and goes. Gaming, however, it really never leaves. Sure, the games change and the systems of which that we play on change, but just like people, relationships, and places, gaming holds memories. You know, I'll never forget the first time I played World of Warcraft, logging in and creating my human warrior for the Alliance. Drummer Boy, that was his name. This character was something that I wasn't at the ripe age of 12, a warrior. It was something that I aspired to be. He was the knight in ragged clothes that one day would be in shining armor. He was powerful, muscular, perfect in complexion, not a single blemish. And that's exactly what I wasn't. I was an acne-ridden, weak nerd who got made fun of for wearing gaming t-shirts to school. But in World of Warcraft, I was Drummer Boy, this strong, all-powerful human. You know, staring at the screen, I remember seeing the login button for the first time, and after I had made my character and kind of looking at the character, and I press it, and the next thing I hear was that beautiful music of the Elwyn Forest. Escapism, that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? You could argue that it isn't the healthiest way to go about dealing with a lot of things. You know, but what could I do? As a kid, this was my coping mechanism for dealing with the world around me. Football, I had pond hockey, faith, and video games. So those were pretty much the four things that I could put my energy into. Whatever game I was playing, I was able to put my energy into the eyes of the player that I was. I was obsessed. Counter-Strike Source, Day of Defeat, World of Warcraft, Brothers in Arms, Dead Rising, Assassin's Creed, NHL. It didn't matter what game I was playing. I wanted nothing more than to experience so many different stories and worlds that it made it hard not to want to play. You know, I became Master Chief. I became that high-class soldier, medieval knight, a photographer in a mall filled with zombies. I know I talked about this in a previous video, but it fits well here. When I was at my lowest point in my life in the army, I used gaming as a huge crutch to help me escape that mental, torturous reality I was putting myself through. You know, I won't go into details because I've talked about this before, especially on the previous Modern Warfare video. Gaming and turning that into streaming games really created such a strong will against what I was facing and dealing with that it made me realize that there isn't a single thing that I would rather do on this earth, at least right now, other than stream. You know, something that started out as wanting to get away from the world became what I'm passionate about. It has become my profession. While I do believe that a piece of the large puzzle on why I continue to game is because of escapism, it again is only one piece. You know, when you play a game and you meet somebody that's random, and you're having a blast with them, you friend them, and next thing you know, you build this relationship with someone over that game. You know, gaming allows you to strip down to the base level of who you are. What I mean by that is there's no fake personality that you feel that you need to put on because people can't see who you are. You essentially can be whoever you want, yeah. I get that. And I believe that pull leads to that escapism feeling. However, I really believe that allowing someone to talk to another human being in a game chat and party, or even in a call, it fundamentally allows you to be who you truly are, because those who are experiencing that game with you are also in it for a reason. You automatically have something in common with them. No need to puff out your chest or hide yourself in fear of what others are going to think of how you look, what you wear, or if you're using text chat,
how you sound.
You know, this base level is incredibly appealing and why there are communities. Whenever I go back into WoW, I still get a rush of emotion and nostalgia from hearing the music, you know, like it reminds me of that time in my childhood. And seeing the sights of when I was trying to figure out this monumental game by myself just brings that back. But it wasn't permanently by myself. You know, people just like you watching this video were able to meet and create communities, guilds, clans, groups, you name it. Across the world, they were formed. You know, I'll never forget, I met this guy named Josh who was from the UK. We met playing Call of Duty 4 Hardcore Search and Destroy, and we used to game with him for hours. Jod and Pat, two guys that I met from Canada through streaming and playing NHL, became great friends with these guys. In WoW, I was the youngest member of my guild at the time. Mom, Dad, I'm sorry, I did tell them my age. We celebrated my 13th birthday together as a guild. You see, gaming creates and builds these bonds. It's easy to relate to gamers because as you play that game with them, you share an experience and are playing something that you are interested and passionate about. You know, people from my childhood, to people I met in the army that live all over the world, to even the randoms. Gaming allows people to get together and share an experience that isn't quite like anything out there. You know, it was and is something that all of my friends are into. From kindergarten and now, from snow days, sleepovers, gaming cafes, and beyond, to the basement of owning a house with a dedicated streaming room. Community was always the goal. I have to thank gaming for all the continued friendships I have. Surely community isn't the end-all be-all, though. emotions. I see video games as an interactive art, and I think a lot of people do as well. You know, art is able to evoke emotions. The Last of Us, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Spec Ops: The Line, the Telltale Walking Dead series, Halo. I could go on and on about so many different games, but I always try to explain certain video games to people because not everybody truly understands it.
It's just entertainment. Oh, it's just something fun.
No, it's more than that. We choose to continuously go back into Escape from Tarkov because of the heart-pumping adrenaline, rush wins, and losses that want you begging for another victory. It's the Warzone wins with the squad during quarantine. It's the heartbreaking moments between Clem and Lee in The Walking Dead. It's defeating one of the hardest raids in WoW with your guild. It's yelling at your teammates because of how invested you guys are in the game, only to hurt someone's feelings. And hopefully you guys make up. You know, I think this is extremely easy to explain to somebody now as gaming has become a lot more mainstream. You know, flashback 10 years ago, it wasn't the same reaction. Even 6 years ago, I was judged quite a bit in college for playing World of Warcraft. You know, despite a lot of the issues going on in gaming world right now, the inception of gaming in the mainstream eye has created a lot more acceptance to what is out there. The acceptance has shown how video games are just a more interactive media that evoke more emotions than movies, at least in my opinion. Escapism, community, emotions, we still have that common denominator through this all, and that's gaming. I love video games. I love experiencing them with people, and this has boiled over into streaming. I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I started streaming in December of 2019, but seriously, I'm so glad that I did. Because if it weren't for all of you here supporting the channel, we wouldn't have the community we have today. And I have to give a huge shout out to my parents, my mom and dad. My parents put up with so much of my gaming and shenanigans, but they saw the happiness and friendships that this brought me. You know, looking at you, Mom, beating me in Call of Duty 2 when I got a brand new Xbox 360 that we had picked up from Best Buy, because you guys played the games with me as well. And growing up with video games was such a blessing. But now my wife gets to put up with it. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, I just can't say thank you enough for how far we've come. Gaming and having it boil over into streaming has been such an incredible journey. For those of you that have been here, you know, regardless of day one, or if you've been here as of yesterday or today, thank you. We've got a lot more coming, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this video, ladies and gents. Do you agree with some of the points that I brought up? Is there more to it for you personally? Let me hear what your thoughts are, what your friends did. We'll be on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sundays, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Be sure to tune in. I appreciate you all. Take it easy. Take care. Stay safe out there. We'll see you later.
I get the shivers whenever I'm thinking about you. Just wanna